Macys has all of your Grill Master essentials for Father's Day. Stop by to get our hand-trimmed chicken breast and certified Angus beef patties that are ready to grill, so Dad can have his favorite dinner. Make sure to browse our bakery to find the perfect no-work Father's Day treat with our decadent peanut butter bars or famous donuts. Right now, you can get boneless beef ribeye steaks for $12.99 per pound at Macys. Shop these Father's Day essentials in-store or online at Macys.com through June 18th. Macys, happy shopping!
The mighty and resilient Merrimack River, carving through the communities of our great region. My name is Linda Lorden, proud president of Merrimack County Savings Bank, and like the river that serves as our namesake, we're a constant yet ever-changing presence. Because to us, it's bigger than banking. It's about powering communities and putting people first. It's about knowing where you came from and where you're going. That's Merrimack style. Visit us at themerrimack.com.
Welcome to a special series of the 5 Minute Biographies podcast, while we wait for season 18 of the regular show to commence. During this series, we are taking a brief look at the lives of the first 10 presidents of the United States. This is episode 4, James Madison. James Madison, the fourth President of the United States, and often referred to as the Father of the Constitution, was born on the 16th of March, 1751, at Belle Grove, a plantation in Port Conway, Virginia. His pivotal role in shaping the United States Constitution and his deep commitment to Republican principles have cemented his place as one of the most influential founding fathers. Madison's presidency, political career, and intellectual legacy left an indelible mark on the early history of the United States. Madison was born into a prominent and prosperous Virginia family. His father, James Madison Sr., was a wealthy planter who owned Montpelier, a large estate in Orange County, Virginia, where Madison grew up. His mother, Nellie Conway Madison, was also from a distinguished family. As the eldest of 12 children, Madison was expected to uphold the family's status, and he received a privileged education that reflected his standing in Virginia society. From a young age, Madison demonstrated a keen intellect and a voracious appetite for learning. He was initially tutored at home, where he excelled in subjects such as Latin, Greek, and French, in addition to a strong grounding in history and literature. In 1769, at the age of 18, Madison enrolled at the College of New Jersey, which is now known as Princeton University. Under the guidance of the college's president, John Witherspoon, Madison was exposed to the leading ideas of the Enlightenment, which greatly influenced his political thought. He studied subjects such as philosophy, theology, law, and political theory, completing the course in just 2 years due to his intense dedication to his studies. Madison's education at Princeton played a crucial role in shaping his views on government and human nature. He became particularly interested in the works of Enlightenment philosophers such as John Locke, David Hume, and Montesquieu, whose ideas on liberty, the separation of powers, and individual rights became central to his own political philosophy. After graduating in 1771, Madison returned to Virginia and began contemplating a career in public service. The political landscape of the American colonies was rapidly changing in the 1770s, with tensions between Britain and the colonies escalating. Madison became deeply involved in the revolutionary cause, first as a member of the Virginia militia, and then as a delegate to the Virginia Convention in 1776. His involvement in the drafting of Virginia's first Constitution and his contributions to the Virginia Declaration of Rights demonstrated his early commitment to the principles of self-governance and individual liberties. In 1780, Madison was appointed as a delegate to the Continental Congress, where he gained invaluable experience in the workings of government and diplomacy. During his time in Congress, he became acutely aware of the weaknesses of the Articles of Confederation, the first governing document of the United States. The Articles created a loose confederation of states with a weak central government, which Madison believed was insufficient for the new nation to thrive. He advocated for a stronger federal government capable of uniting the states, maintaining order, and securing the nation's future. Madison's most significant contribution to American history came during the Constitutional Convention of 1787, where he played a leading role in drafting the United States Constitution. Drawing on his extensive knowledge of political theory, Madison crafted a vision for a federal government that balanced power between the states and the central authority, while also protecting individual rights. His proposal for a three-branch government, consisting of the executive, legislative, and judicial branches, with a system of checks and balances, became the foundation of the Constitution. Madison's influence did not stop with the drafting of the Constitution. Along with Alexander Hamilton and John Jay, he authored the Federalist Papers, a series of essays written to promote the ratification of the Constitution. Madison's essays, particularly Federalist No. 10 and Federalist No. 51, are considered some of the most important writings in American political thought. In these works, he argued for the importance of a large republic to control the dangers of factionalism and the need for a strong yet constrained government to protect individual liberty. In 1789, after the Constitution was ratified, Madison was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives, where he played a central role in drafting the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution that guaranteed fundamental liberties such as freedom of speech, religion, and the press. Madison's commitment to these rights reflected his lifelong belief in the importance of protecting individual freedoms from government overreach. Madison's political career continued to rise, and in 1801 he became Secretary of State under President Thomas Jefferson, a close friend and political ally. During Jefferson's presidency, Madison oversaw the Louisiana Purchase, which doubled the size of the United States, and he navigated the complexities of foreign relations, particularly with Britain and France, as both nations interfered with American trade during their ongoing conflict. In 1808, Madison was elected as the fourth President of the United States. His presidency, which lasted from 1809 to 1817, was dominated by the War of 1812, often called America's Second War of Independence. The war was fought against Britain over issues such as trade restrictions and the impressment of American sailors into the British Navy. Despite early setbacks, including the burning of Washington, D.C., by British forces in 1814, Madison's leadership helped the United States emerge from the war with a renewed sense of national unity and sovereignty. The War of 1812, though controversial at the time, ultimately solidified Madison's belief in the strength of the American Republic. It also marked the decline of the Federalist Party, which had opposed the war, and ushered in what is often called the era of good feelings, a period of political cooperation and national pride. After leaving the presidency in 1817, Madison retired to his estate, Montpelier, in Virginia, where he spent his remaining years focused on managing his plantation and engaging in intellectual pursuits. He maintained an active correspondence with other founding figures, including Thomas Jefferson and John Adams, and continued to be involved in political debates, particularly regarding the future of slavery, which he had struggled with throughout his life, but never decisively opposed. James Madison passed away on the 28th of June, 1836, at Montpelier, at the age of 85. His death marked the end of an era in American history, as he was the last of the founding fathers to die. Madison's legacy as a statesman, thinker, and architect of the Constitution remains central to the story of the United States. His contributions to the principles of democracy, federalism, and individual rights continue to shape the nation's governance and political philosophy to this day. I hope you enjoyed that special episode of 5-Minute Biographies. If you did, why not subscribe or leave a review wherever you get your podcasts? Also, why not check out our other 5-Minute podcasts at 5minuteproductions.com. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.
it's official. We are very much in the final sprint to Election Day. And face it, between debates, polling releases, even court appearances, it can feel exhausting, even impossible to keep up with. I'm Brad Milkey. I'm the host of Start Here, the daily podcast from ABC News. And every morning, my team and I get you caught up on the day's news in a quick, straightforward way that's easy to understand, with just enough context so you can listen, get it, and go on with your day. So, kickstart your morning. Start smart with Start Here and ABC News, because staying informed shouldn't feel overwhelming.